So I did say we would start with the John Holland, which is exactly what we will do. So let's see what the first one is for you guys. Intuition, it's a major arcana. This is the High Priestess. It often talks to us about connecting with our gut instincts, our psychic, intuitive side. Learning that when we do, there could be some powerful insights and information that come to us. So it is a card that reflects the ability to learn something important or of value in our journey, in our sort of soul journey, or even our physical life journey. So sometimes this is pertaining to the fact that there could be important messages out there for you that will help you to make decisions in certain directions you're going. You just need to tap into them at that intuitive level. Now, sometimes you might find that these occur through the dream space of life, or in synchronistic events as well. The card can also represent the desire to further your knowledge in the esoteric realm, so becoming more interested in spiritual matters or philosophies, and that you might uptake some learning in this. Sometimes it even points towards becoming a teacher of it, or going into a business around this type of area. The other thing that it talks to us about is sort of the crown chakra, the top of the head area, because that's where this mind is energy is coming through via the door of the cosmos into her mind as such. So it can be referring to the Sahasrara, the crown chakra area, or the third eye. But it does talk about great wisdom and knowledge and an inquiring mind. It also can refer to great new beginnings. So sometimes conception is around when this card is present, conception of ideas or pregnancy. It can also even be a time where other people find you quite attractive. So in the month you might find that lots of different people might be drawn to you for one reason or another, and it could be because of this enlightened type energy that you're giving off, or a physical attraction that's just out there. So that's a nice way to start your reading anyhow. We'll go to this card next. Oh wow, the World. That's nice too, another major arcana. Now, interesting too that you see the woman in the middle there with barely any clothes on. This often also represents some sort of sexual liberation or freedom, and it can also indicate, relationships to do at the intimate end of life, which is kind of what this one could be insinuating as well. So two of them here that are teeing this sort of energy up at the same time. The World card is about completion of something. It's as if you have gained some sort of knowledge, even though here you are still wanting to acquire perhaps further knowledge or more knowledge. There's something that this woman here holds scrolls in her hand, as if she has obtained knowledge, perhaps different types, on her life journey, and she has completed that cycle, and she is now moving into a new evolution of understanding and knowledge. So these two go hand in hand really nicely about the learning aspect, taking on board more philosophical or esoteric knowledge, continuing and furthering journeys and starting new ones. The World card can also literally represent going on a travel or going on travel, and sometimes it is around the world, so it can be a big event for people. This could be moving overseas or immigrating, but it can also be a holiday, like a world holiday. And sometimes you will meet foreign friends, and they might represent these astrological signs. And sometimes they speak different languages, but the friendships can go on to become very fond friends that can last a lifetime. So the World represents a change in your world, quite literally. Something that is positive, that propels you onto a new stage of your being. So two really great cards to start off with there. Yeah, so some of you will be doing travel, I think, in the month of May. Okay, so we've got another one coming out here about your intuition. So it's really being hammered into you guys. This is the 6th chakra. Archangel Metatron is coming into your reading through this energy. Now, this one here, the intuition, It's either through her third eye or her crown chakra, and here we have the third eye activated as well. So call upon Archangel Metatron during the month if you need clarity of vision for anything around projects you're doing, or information or insight that you wish to uplift or have clarified, or new thought trains that you're wanting. Also, it's talking about, again, trusting your intuition and, really expanding your psychic abilities yourself. You may find that you have untapped potential in this area of your life. It feels as though some of you are literally going to go into this realm much deeper, and that whether or not for some of you this is a possible business or career pathway. And if it's not a business or career pathway, there's opportunity for you guys to really open up in this perspective to help you make your life decisions and choices as to where you're going. So remember Metatron as a useful helper and supporter during the month if you have any issues or worries that that are on your mind as well. So I'm going to go to the Soul's Journey card now, and we'll see what you have here. Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. All of these Soul Journey cards that have come out so far for the readings have been really intense. Now they do have mandalas with them. The mandalas are kind of very vibrational. They work at a vibrational frequency, and if you look at them with enough kind of intention, I think is the word, if you look at them with enough intention, they'll activate something for you, and they will help you to progress through whatever it is that you need to learn. So I'm going to read the words from the book for you. Death is an illusion. It is a fact of life that the human body we use to travel the earth must eventually stop working. It's not meant to exist forever. The energy and consciousness that inhabited the body is free and returns to its natural home, but it never abandons us. Learn to view death as merely a change, and everything must change because stagnancy extinguishes progress. The same is true for a relationship or a career. A soul lesson may be completed, and it is time to move beyond this point of familiarity and expand into new horizons of learning and development. This is a wonderful opportunity to thank those other souls in your life who have shared part of your path and taught you so much. And in essence, that really resonates too with the World card. The World card is the end of a journey and the beginning of a new one. And you could even say that perhaps these people who were in this with you, or you have traversed your knowledge and time and gained the expertise, they were part of the journey, and it is probably time to move on to this next phase. So for some of you, this is a really like coming of age, or a new chapter is about to dawn for you all. It feels like, and it seems personal from the words that came from the card, but for some of you it could be career related. For others it could be friendship or intimate partner related. For others it could be a health modality or a change in your health, and for others it could be a change in your belief or integrity values. And these do happen to us at certain times in our life, quite often as we're moving from, say, teens into the 20s, and then sometimes when you leave the kind of 20s, early 30s, and you're moving into the latter parts, the 40s, 50s, we can often see integrity values change. And sometimes that comes upon us unexpectedly, which can create like a conundrum or a feeling of being adrift and not necessarily knowing exactly how the integrity values are going to pan out, or our belief systems. We think, wow, this change, I can feel it coming. I'm just not sure where it's taking me or what it's all about. Let's look a bit deeper. Wow, daughter romance. And we've had quite a lot of this happening with these three cards in particular. There was talk of potential freedom or liberation of the physical body, and the body being able to be, united with another, or other people finding you interesting or quite passionate. So there's definitely some sort of romance for a lot of you. Now, if you're already in an existing relationship, it could be that the relationship has been, you know, reinvigorated one way or another, or that there's a bit more passion or excitement within it, or even tender romance. So funnily enough, a lot of people have had a little bit of romantic possibility flourishing through their readings in the month of May. So the next card here, another major arcana, and this is the beautiful Lion. It's number 8, the Power, which is the Strength card. So the Strength card is like your inner strength, and it's finding yourself, it's finding your values and standing up for yourself. It's a beautiful card in its representation of this one, where we sort of see the half man and the half lion. So there's this feeling that you understand that the power is not physical power, it's a metaphysical, or it comes from your soul or your spirit. And from that power you gain strength that is far greater than the need to have to use physical strength to get your way or to be assertive. This is when we come of age, when we become powerful with our mind and our soul. So it's a great card to have out in a reading, denoting that if there are issues around you that you feel you need to use your strength, your soul strength, then it feels as though this is the time when it's present, or that you are learning to use it really well. So don't be afraid of it, and don't be afraid to put it into use around situations if you need to be heard, or you feel as though your presence could be useful in leading a situation one way or another. So another great card there coming through. I'll do another one from the John Holland Psychic Tarot. And we have another really great positive card here in the Foundation and Achievements, which is the Four of Wands. And this symbolizes a home, a happy home environment, and the people in it are blessed, if you like, the rainbow over the top of it. So given that you guys got the World card, for some of you, it could be that you are shifting home literally, and some of you may be moving to a different state or a different place or a different country. It could be that some of you are just moving out of the cycle of where you have been living, whether you were, say, at home with parents, or whether you were flatting, or whether you were in a relationship with someone and it's time to move on. It can also actually mean extended families, and that extended families come together to live together in a blended environment or harmony. It is a very positive card. It can mean also attending functions or events, weddings, engagements, things like that. Given that we've got the World card and there's the possibility of travel, it could be referring that some of you, when you are going on your travels, are going to enjoy your home that you are going to stay in as such. So it's positive. It's about success, happiness, and contentment, all of the good things in life. So let's come back here. Oh, wow. I just love when things like this happen. So 2 4s, this is basically the very same card as this, the Foundation and Achievement, and they have termed it in this deck the Happy Family. And I love now you guys have got a double rainbow happening. I always stop and take a moment to look at rainbows in the sky. I think they are one of the most beautiful visions that we see, and sometimes you do get double rainbows happening. They're more often like that on top of each other, but you've just received like a double rainbow for the month of May. So really call upon that energy. In fact, it probably is better that way because they join a little bit more in harmony. But there's this talk of contentment and happiness. There's people around you in the month of May that seem to enjoy your company or find that there's harmony where you're around. And there's definitely something about family groundedness and togetherness and your home that feels safe. Maybe some of you are purchasing a home. Maybe you have had good news about your home or blended families or coming together or the shifting issue. But wow, that's really lovely, guys. That's very, very nice. Let's come to here. Well, that's a bit of a downer after all that lovely good news, but everyone has to get a bit of both in their readings. So this can represent a sadness in the heart area, so emotional wise, and it does turn up sometimes when there is something like 3 people affecting a relationship and it's causing pain and separation. So sometimes this could be indicative of things like an affair, and there is pain. Someone has to leave and it creates grief. Now, whether it's you or whether it's someone you're involved with, it'll be an individual thing that only you will know about. It's usually temporary. It also can denote that if there is a relationship that is in strife, but you would rather not lose it, then there is a possibility with this card that you can go through mediation and it can be rectified. So seeing counsellors or a mediator or someone who can offer like a unbiased point of view to try and help you guys communicate through it to heal the rift. The other thing is physical heart health, obviously, when we see that. So for some of you, check your physical heart, make sure that it is in good order. There could be someone around you too, a family member, who needs to have heart health checkups. So that's the physical side of that card. Another 3, so 2 4s in a row and 2 3s in a row. This one's a wee bit happier. This is a creative 3. It's about looking abroad. It's a card of expansion, especially expansion of ideas, directions, thoughts, and creativity. And it often is associated with our careers or our passionate side of life. Now, he has his back to us and he is looking out to the distance. This card can often turn up when people are thinking of expanding a business or their own career, and they are literally looking offshore. So sometimes this is attending interviews about a job that might take you to a foreign country, whether it's for travel or whether you go to live there, or whether you are looking to expand your own business and it's talking going globally or via the internet, or going offshore for importing or exporting, or importing staff members from external sources, or vice versa. A good card, it represents choice, options, and expansion. The Garden and the Gate. It's another really beautiful card. I think all of the cards in this deck are so gorgeous to look at. So the Garden and the Gate, if you notice the key around the girl's neck, she holds the key to unlock the gate to go further out and expand herself. But she's seemingly in the garden of happiness. So primarily with the key around her neck, she is almost looking a little bit reluctant to open the gate and go through, because she's finding her life, full of beauty and harmony anyhow, which is lovely. So the card itself is denoting, again, kind of pleasure, happiness, security, and safety. But if she opened the gate and went a little bit beyond, it doesn't look that appealing at the moment, that the hills in the background, because that's all she can see and she's a little bit nervous about it. But if she opened the gate and perhaps turned to the end of the path and looked left or right, there could in fact be something just as beautiful and as valuable to her in her future journey. So it's about not being afraid to walk through that gate and take some steps out of the box, or take some steps in a different direction. And that's exactly what the World card said when it first turned up down here. There's another 3 too for you. So there's 3, 3 and another 3. But the World card is sort of very much the same, saying that you've come to the end of this great knowledge that you have gained. You have been well thought of, respected. Your life has been fantastic as well along the way. Of course, everyone will have ups and downs. I'm not suggesting everything's always perfect. but that there's this new cycle of freedom coming and you're about to embark on it. And the same messages with this card, but what it's suggesting is she's a little bit afraid to take the steps. She needs to have a little bit more faith and just say, let's take that leap of faith and go for it, because it does bode fairly well. In reality, there is no future in the past. We must always look forward and take a new step around every corner to learn, to experience, and to grow our soul in particular. So where else shall we go? Wow. Nice reading, guys. This is number 19, the light, which is the sun. It is a beautiful card, much loved by everyone. And the sun gives off this great energy, this buoyancy. It warms us, it nurtures us, it feeds the planet, it feeds us. So there could be a literal thing here for some of you to go out into the sun and make sure you get some vitamin D, as a lot of people on the planet are extremely short of vitamin D, and that enhances our mood and helps to create energy in our body as well. But the sun in a reading gives us joy, it creates passion, excitement, ignition. Again, it's about fertility, it's possibly about new romance, it's about happiness in life, feeling buoyant. Oh my gosh, it's just, everything is lovely when the sun card is out. It is also a really great time or opportunity for new prospects in your career sector, especially if you are thinking of creating something or forging something from your mind into this reality. So like a new business or a new project or concept or idea. So if some of you have got these things going on in the back of your minds, then it's time to bring them into solidity and form them into this dimension. Capricorns are so usually grounded and well able to work their way through situations just by methodically going from A to B to C. And you quite often in your lives amass a relatively safe amount of good financial acumen. Your jobs can often be safe. Your homes can often be safe and steady as well. So the sun offers just buoyancy and enlightenment around all of your methodical procedures that help to uplift them and further them or promote them. So yeah, again, lovely card. Another nice card, the 6 of Coins, is a sign of the yin-yang in life, the balance, the giving. Some of you could be in the mode of receiving something in May, whether it be a small pay rise or a pay, like a jump up in your job. So if you were, say, a 2IC or an assistant, you might become a manager. If you were looking for a promotion within a company, you might receive it. Some of you may even receive a small windfall or an inheritance or a loan or a small lotto win. And if that's not what it is, then you're in the position of being able to give to someone else. And it could be loaning money or gifting money. If it's not money, it may be emotional support as well. It's a really positive card because it brings balance and it brings flow and movement as well. And this card represents the cycle of life. So another great card. The Knight of Pentacles, he's yourself in action. They are the usurpers, if you like, of the initial idea that you might have had in your mind, which is the Page. So this guy, the Knight, takes a message and he initiates it further. Again, he's quite good about receiving news about a job interview, or that you may have received or been waiting on some sort of information from people, possibly pertaining to your money or your finances. So often this falls back into the career sector. If you've had money that you've been waiting on, whether it was a payout or a bonus or some shares or the sale of something, this could bode very well in saying it's moving through the process and it's on its way to coming to you. This can be a really good time to put your CV out to apply for a job. Now, if you haven't been employed for a while and you're looking for a job, Go to any website and make sure that you learn how to get the best CV you can, because there's a lot of competition for jobs, and to get noted, you've got to have something that the HR person is looking for, and your CV must be top notch to get a job. So don't hesitate in finding somewhere that will give you that information to really represent yourself well. But basically, it's another positive omen. Let's come back to this one. Oh, wow. One of my favorite cards, and it has come out before for someone. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. The word gratitude is basically thank you. And it is so simple to be in a space of gratitude for every single thing that we go through, and even the hard things, because we're learning from them. We grow, we gain experience, we gain strength and understanding when we go through something that is a little bit tough or difficult to deal with. So even the harsh things in life, even the things that push us to need the power, to need to use our inner strength, we eventually show gratitude for them, because we have learnt, we've grown, we've become more powerful, we stand on our own. And gratitude for everything in life. It's not difficult in any moment of the day to just look around you and be grateful for something. Whether you're grateful for having vision, or whether you're grateful for having the internet, or whether you are grateful for having a seat to sit on, or whether you're grateful for seeing the trees outside, or hearing a bird, or watching a train go past. Anything you can be grateful for. And when you are, it relieves the feeling of depression or stress if you've got that feeling going on. If you take yourself away from that for a moment and apply a positive high vibrational frequency such as gratitude, the less positive stuff like fear, anxiety, worry, depression, they abate almost instantly when you apply a positive vibration such as gratitude. So really nice one here. We've done quite a lot. We're moving through them rapidly, but I think we'll have one more. Tied up. There's something just about not being able to make a decision when this card comes out, pondering which way to go. What I do think all tied up means is, again, you have choices, and somehow there might be a choice that's confusing you and you are unsure on which way to go. The garden and the gate a little bit give us this feeling of being tied up or afraid to take that step out. So it's about being strong and bringing the power in and using your intellectual and your spiritual power and trusting your intuition. If you feel there's a situation where you can't make this decision, you don't know to go left or right, but using your intuition, having some faith, bringing light into the subject as well, focusing on the high vibrations, and knowing that also you can call on angelic helpers to bring about a movement, like to help perhaps give you some sort of push in a certain direction. You can ask for synchronistic events to occur to help make decisions as well. And in so doing, you can call upon someone like Archangel Metatron to show you or to help you feel into the right decision so that you can move forward. So there we are, guys. I think you had a pretty amazing reading with all the wonderful stuff that was popping out left, right and centre. You know, happy families, the two of them right together. So a lot for you to be grateful about in your lovely reading.